Hey, hello. This
Ooh.
is Dungeons and Dragons. This is the Tales of Revedia. It's where we tell tales in Revedia. We don't tell tales. This is the tale of the tale told. Ugh, don't like that. Cat.
One of the tales in Revedia itself.
But yes, we're here playing Dungeons and Dragons. I'd say we have the cast as usual, but they don't love us anymore. And they left,
Yeah.
and they're not dead, but they're well. One of them. Oh, who knows? Um, but his tummy hurt. Well, that's not what he said, but that's what I'm gonna take it as. So as we have the three of us here, the three players because DMs aren't people. Um,
Nope.
where we ended off our last session was the meeting in back in Reveed with Baron, the one person you would know would most likely have reliable information about what could have possibly happened to Taryn, given that he was the one who had introduced you all to her, and he's the one who sort of implanted her in to the Bronze Flame. Um, Through that discovery, you found out a couple things. One, she made a deal with a not deity, but a powerful being, the Shadowfell, for power long ago, at a cost that has been haunting her since. Um, you found out that if she's unable to be detected by any means, then it's most likely that she's being kept in a place of somewhere that is opposed to Mistra, which is why Phinia would not have been able to find her. Um, and you were all given some pointers in certain directions. That if Terran were to be sort of freed from those bindings, first would be a wonderful MacGuffin known as the Fate Turner, uh, that is currently being held, or this last known location from Usharan is by the Gither's Eye in was it Limbo? Yeah, not Pandemonium. Ooh, not that one.
Yeah, Pandemonium's a bit too much, thanks.
Yeah, there was that, as well as the information that ugh yeah, it'd be a powerful place in the Shadowfell that in order to find, from what you were able to be told by Qualm, an old friend of Alara, that he may be able to help sort of scry and maybe divine her location a little bit more accurately if he had either a piece of something that represents the guy from the Shadowfell, or something, or maybe one of Terran's very personal belongings. Um, he did say that was not a guarantee. Um, but with that, as we sort of step in to this new session of a good old game of Dungeons and Dragons, you guys, having left Baron's sort of smaller cottage near the inner city, not the inner city. It's literally like the inside of the city, but not like the inner city type thing you think of, you know. Um, and you were given Jungum were given the tuning fork that would be able to get you all to Limbo. However, not exactly a place you can just kind of roll up into. So you guys have some time because there's no countdown clock that you're aware of going on. Um, Outside of the war going on in the background currently. Um, but that's unrelated. For you all to make whatever preparations or choices you see fit before continuing this venture or going in this direction.
Okay. Um,
I'm assuming you
Really
guys
good.
are heading back towards the house.
Yar.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you guys arrive, big old place that you guys have been set up with trees that sort of tower over all the surrounding buildings in the area. Um, you see like what's it called? As you're sort of stepping in, the back doors open as while you're not exactly sure of the means of how it got here. You do see the Manta. What's it called? Jay's ship, sort of like set up, like on like a workstation in like the backyard, like field area, as him and Dazan are. They're not they're around it, but they're not exactly like fucking hammering away or doing anything on it quite yet.
Okay. I'm not too knowledgeable about Limbo, so I'll probably want to research it before we head off there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably go to like a library of some sort to see if I can learn more. Like, I'm sure the guild has like a library that has like or documents so I can read about it.
Yeah, you'd be able to go either through guild resources or you could go through like there's like a public library that's located next to the Seven Towers. Those would be like the two most reliable places. But I would say, you would know that while the library would have more general information, the value of what you'd be able to probably find of like documents and things and reports at the guild would pertain more to people's personal experiences there, which one of which may be more relevant to you than the other.
I would like to do
Well,
that.
I was gonna say, I mean, we might as well do both. So we go and research in the library, and then also.
You guys want to go together, or one of you take each?
It's up to you.
Dude, let's go together.
Okay. Do you have a preference where you want first?
Probably the library to get a more general idea about it, and then personal experience afterwards once we've got the general information.
Okay, cool. Kalis, in the meantime, you are welcome to go to the library with them. However, you also have kind of free reign to fuck around. Whether you'd like to go off and do something, help Jay and Dazan, or just you kind of fuck off and do whatever.
Yeah,
If you want to go with
I
them,
can definitely lend my intellectual prowess to this, to the Manhattan Project in our backyard.
There is intellectual value in different perspectives. I could say that.
I don't really have anything I wanted to do just this moment. What I was just wanted to ask was, you mentioned that there's a war going on in the background. Like, are all the citizens being like mobilized and like, conscripted and trained and stuff in the background? Or is the city on a war footing?
Do two things for me. Can you make me like history and like a perception check? I'll say this is just as you're making your way about town, as you've been sort of walking to and fro. Wow.
What?
No, you crit on both.
Oh,
Oh,
I wasn't on that tab, huh?
All right. I guess I'll just tell you everything I was going to then, because. So, first things first. When it comes to the armies of Revedia, which is something you haven't had you had a small bit of personal experience with the business and moving wilds going back and forth. You would know one very important thing is that Revedia, comparably to maybe some other nations, doesn't have like a particularly large standing army. Their main source of like mobilizing force is the Skywatchers, the Griffin Knights that watch over everything. And due to the nature of Revedia's location, it is not the most easy place to attack, with sort of strategic points located along the river and across and like ports along the heart of Revedia. Not an easy place to penetrate through any like traditional means.
Basically, has like no like exposed side of the city.
Yeah, no, not really. It's next to a mountain and a river,
and like a river fork too.
Yeah. However, one thing you are aware of is that even though it has a sort of relatively sort of small standing army, it is the city with the on average most magically capable people of anywhere on the continent. Whether it be through normal means or like traditional training or like self-teaching shit. So the quality of soldiers here, and especially those who make their way through the sort of martial academies, and also access to things like the guilds, which try to remain neutral, but money is money. Many work for mercenaries. Reveed can mobilize forces incredibly quickly, and not only that, they have a lot of highly skilled soldiers. So you wouldn't see anyone necessarily being conscripted or anything like that. There isn't like a draft going on in Reveed for this, especially given like the nature of where Crimson Keep is, because they can't exactly just march an army across. After that attack, I'd say sort of listening and hearing, listening about town, there would have been, there is some public unrest. The first of which caused by the lack of Arianvel's presence in the capital.
Mm.
Being a traditionally very charismatic leader, and one that even people among like multiple classes in society have approved of, the absence of his voice does not go unnoticed among them or by them. The second big thing is that like you would notice that there is seemingly more, you see a lot more what's it called, mages in the sort of skies and streets, watching things, the sort of magical defenses, that like you have this sort of innate like sort of like magical sense, and you can tell that it just feels thicker in the air ever since the attack, as if whatever effects that were sort of laid on before have been intensified to a significant degree. And there would be people like recruiting, like especially for like guilds for like martial training, but in almost all the lands of Revedia, and especially that of Reveed, there isn't a whole lot of value in like peasant militia or peasant armies.
Right.
Just because the scale of conflict can go so incredibly high that's like, you know, to a certain degree, it would be almost immoral to like have like hundreds of troops and well, that's all those guys gone to fucking 3 guys who can cast fireball.
I see.
So warfare is very complicated. And as far as you've been able to hear, another like sort of significant source of the tension is the fact that there hasn't been any like major announcement or plans of attack on what happened in Crimson Keep. And there's definitely this sort of air of like something needs to be done about this, but nothing has been yet, or at least nothing that the public is aware of.
But it became public knowledge that it was Crimson Keep that
Yes.
aggressed the city. Okay.
Yes, that
All
became
right, that's all
public
I really
knowledge.
wanted to ask about.
So yeah. Man, great rules to start off the game with.
Hopefully we can keep it going.
Fingers crossed. Let me see. Meanwhile, ooh. One second, I have to double check that I'm using this word correctly.
Interesting.
Okay. That's funny. So meanwhile, Sparks and Jung'un, as you guys sort of heading out into the town, it's like I'd say everything sort of said and done, because you guys went to Bear the same day you came back, but you were already pretty well rested. It's like maybe like a little after like midday or so, like, or no, it'd be like maybe like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, as you're sort of making your way about the streets, and you notice a bit of what that stuff I was mentioning to Cass, where there is this sort of sparks. You as well sort of feel like this sort of almost like how to. Ooh, that's an unpleasant description. You can feel you have like this sort of innate awareness of the density of magic in the air and how different things feel, and that's sort of intertwined with the tension that's on the streets of the city. And as you, Angelin, arrive at the Great Library of Revedia, the doors are open as per usual. You all are looking for books specifically on the plane of limbo. Is there any particular aspects you want to know about it, like, or just more like a fucking or whatever, just like what's the limbo stuff?
Nothing too specific. Like, I think I'm more worried about getting there and getting attacked. I would like to know, like, maybe the flora and fauna of the area.
And common dangers.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Okay.
Here's some myths, like, oh, this person always disappears doing in this area.
Okay, I got you. Why don't you both feel free to make me an type of intelligence check that you feel is relevant, and you can either both of you can make it, or one of you can make it an advantage. Whether you say between nature, arcana, history, whatever one you think would be more relevant to the information you want.
Well, my arcana is +6. Everything else is +1. So.
I will give him advantage.
You sure? I mean, you might as well do your own thing, because I can give myself advantage with Tides of Chaos. Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll roll separately. It's just I'm not good at any of this.
Yeah, but you might roll a natural 20.
Okay. Well, then I'll cast Guidance on myself.
Okay.
I'll use Tides of Chaos on Arcana to give myself advantage.
Okay. Feel free to go for it then. Wow.
Natural 20.
So a 26 and a 14. Wow. Okay. The fuck?
Was the first one as well.
We'll do Dragon first.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you are going about through your research, Dragon, as you were sort of told by Usharan before, the two biggest threats, or like widely known threats, are that of the Gither's Eye and that of the Slad. The one that would sort of draw your eye most is the Slad, which are not pleasant creatures. They are this very anarchistic, sort of like not lizards. They look like lizard frog guys, kinda. I can actually show you an image as I'm talking. But their sort of main thing is they are incredibly dangerous to people because they are very infectious. The Slod, the origins of them aren't something you'd be able to find because it's not something that's really widely known. But you would know that they are indeed deadly creatures, and those who succumb to their attacks will eventually turn into one. And that is their most commonly known way of reproducing and creating more of them. That's a black Slad, and that's a blue Slad. And they come in these various sorts of colors, the different colors symbolizing either the stages in their evolution they're at, or like the creatures they came from. spellcasters who are turned into slad traditionally turn into green ones. And the black ones, which would be called like the death slads, are kind of like among like the more powerful of them. However, the other like concerning thing, I guess, is that despite their more like bestial and chaotic natures, they are actually fairly intelligent creatures. And are capable of sort of planning, scheming, doing a whole bunch of stuff, and they do have societies that exist within Limbo. The Gither's Eye, there wouldn't really be much information on them, except for the fact that they are related to the Githyanki, who are native to the astral plane, and they are not. Those two are not exactly on friendly terms with each other. But there is like a recurring pattern of many of the creatures here are those that are inherently chaotic creatures that are frankly dangerous. Different types of like there are many different types of creature that will like look like almost like corrupted versions of that which would be found on the what's it called, the material plane. And I say it's unfortunate. That'd be like a summation of like if you're looking into like the fauna, there isn't going to be anything on the floor because things don't grow there. The things that live in there don't persist off food, or at least they don't persist off grown food. So Sparks, I might as well just send you the fucking wiki page for it.
No, read it for me.
Read it for our viewers.
So
exactly.
In your studies, as you sort of have this sort of stack of tomes at your side, as you're trying to unravel the literal infinite secrets that Limbo are based on the information you have there. Limbo is, by its more official title, is called the Ever-Changing Chaos of Limbo, because of the way that it constantly shifts and moves, being a place impossible to navigate or truly map out through any sort of traditional means. Even movement there is incredibly precarious. It's not a place where you'd be able to necessarily you wouldn't be able to just travel on foot. You would need some sort of vehicle capable of ideally flight. Because in the sort of swirling mass of what's it called, of just like earth and rubble and occasional creatures, there isn't known paths to everything. Another thing you would find out, which would be very sort of important information, is that oftentimes, for those who aren't worshippers of any particular god or any sort of divine force that would claim them, that is where those souls of the afterlife are sent in the afterlife. And they're not exactly present in the sense of like they are ghosts, but it's more so that they are almost like fuel to Limbo in a way, as they just sort of their soul eventually merge with the sort of energy of the plane itself. Occasionally the collection of these spirits can merge and it will create an elemental of this primordial chaos, which they're not fun to deal with. Nah. Other things. You would find out about that within Limbo itself, is not just a sort of elemental plane itself. And while it wouldn't be... Oh, 1 second. I have to fucking... Alright. My Discord. Fucked up my other tab. That there are reportedly the domains of several gods that exist within Limbo. One of which you would have been told earlier, which that is a place where Mistra makes home. But they are not the only one. The other two gods that would have domains there would be and I'll type these out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Boom boom boom. Rastia, the Lady of Fate and Fortune.
Mm-hmm.
And Halion, the God of Journeys. And while the domain of gods are not, their homes are not fixed locations, they may change depending on the whim of that god. And I would say, sort of in that sort of tangential research, you would know that gods are not necessarily created equal in any right. When it comes to their sort of levels of strengths and powers, and some of them are able to change them much more frequently, and some of them are able to have more than one. And you, in this, because it's also sort of that relevant tangential research, would know that this is not the only ones of Mistras. God. Oh. Ah, shit. And where's the other one? Yeah. Be those are the two names if you would like to sort of keep them in mind. Let's see. Other things. Yeah, you would also find out some more info about the relationship between the Gith and the Slad. One, the Slads seem to be native to the plane of Limbo, actually, while the Gith are refugees. Of all the planes, even though Limbo is like sort of, on the Great Cosmological Wheel, it's set up like a wheel, but it's not exactly. The best way I could describe it is, imagine like a sphere, right? With where you guys are in is the very core of it, and the other planes that surround it are more like these sort of like slices out of it, and some of them can be different shapes and sizes, and maybe touch more places than others, and be able to touch multiple planes, rather than the ones just next to it. And Limbo is one just due to its ever-shifting nature that has the ability to touch other places. The most significant ones that it would speak of in the books is the Astral Plane, which is presumably where the Githers Eye came from, and a place called the Outlands.
Speaking of the Gith, is the lore for the Gith in Revedia the same as it is elsewhere, or is it different?
Not Mind Flayer slaves.
Okay, so different.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Um,
That's also actually what I would like to research is a little bit on the Githra's Eye and how one might make a parlay with them, or if it's possible.
So yeah, on National 26, I'll give it to you. So you learn through this what the major difference between the Githyank and the Githyan's Eye are.
Mm-hmm.
While in this library, at least in like any of the public spaces, you wouldn't find specifically where their exact origins were from, but you know that there was an important history where as they were sort of continuing as this one people amongst their quote unquote sort of conquest of the astral sea, this sort of astral plane, sort of infinite space in which they had laid domain. There was an increasing sort of fervor and sort of use of the psionic powers that they wielded, which would also be sort of a new thing because I think you might have been vaguely aware of psionics to some degree, but
Probably not.
you might have heard the word. But the fact that they can make magic fully out of the will of their mind, not using the weave at all, would be new information to you.
Mm-hmm.
Which, they are one of the few beings in that sense who exists and have no reliance on Mistra. Or at the time, yeah. And with this, and the sort of lack of necessity, there were ones of them who believed that they should become powerful enough. They could become powerful enough through the psionics and what's it called? Basically make their way to mortal planes, and especially this was, yeah. See, the continuity part's really weird.
Okay.
Basically, they had big, like, conquering plans using the sort of psionics they had as an advantage over other people to sort of take over other planes, and there was a faction of them which, frankly, excuse me, disagreed and did not want to do that. Later on in their sort of history, as this sort of conflicts and like the tensions rose, that's when the Gith Yankee would go to war with itself. And in that would be the first one of them to sort of wield both psionics and arcane magic through the weave to become almost like I don't know what the technical word for it is, because the word is not a lich, but this sort of significantly more powerful being, which yeah, because it's like a lich but not inherently evil, but like it was the closest a Gith had become to divinity when it would by fusing the two of their sort of innate powers in a mastery of the weave. As that happened, war fully broke out. The last sort of like notes it would have had is that the sort of king, the Githyanki, or of the what is now the Githuzai, was able to keep the Githyanki essentially sealed into the astral plane so they could not invade other realms, and the Githuzai who were there just took that as their ruler's sacrifice and escaped to what is now Limbo. And that is where they reside. And they've changed over the course of history just due to the nature of living in Limbo. It does change you physically if you're there for a long time.
But from what I am understanding, it does make them amenable to talking with other species, and it's not the sort of xenophobic kill on sight vibe that the Githyanki.
Oh, starkly different. No, that's more so speaking of a society than individuals.
Mm-hmm.
But by and large, Githuzai is going to be much more conversational than a Githyanki.
So the Gith, as a whole, they didn't used to be humans. They're just Gith.
Yes.
They're out there, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Their origins wouldn't, even on the 20s, this library would not have a place that would know the origins of where the Gith came from.
Mm.
And you would probably
I know a library that would.
And you would probably know as characters, that's because whatever happened probably predates Revedia to a significant degree. Given that,
I mean, Revedia the planet, or
Revedia the continent as you know it now.
Okay.
Because much of current history seems to not totally line up.
That's right. We don't know the name of this planet, do we? or of the material plane.
It's just generally referred to as Revedia by its citizens.
Yeah,
But that's
Is it
because
not?
we all live here. And it's like calling it Middle Earth, you know?
I don't know. Middle Earth was a good name, and
Sure, true. That's not questioning that aspect of it.
I like it better than just Earth.
but yeah, and the last thing I'll give you on the what's it called, on Limbo. Fuck.
Yeah.
Is that well, it does not have the current sort of societal structure that Gither's Eye. What it would have is uh information on the Society of the Slad and the two Slad lords that lead them. And lead is a strong word.
Do we get the general sense that going anywhere near a bunch of Slad would be bad?
Oh, it'd be terrible.
Yeah,
At least as it's described in the book. The book wasn't written by people who were incredibly high level. This was written by a scholar. So take that perspective in mind.
I take a set of notes and I tell Juggo University.
Why would it be bad for us?
Oh, thank you. By the way, there's no flora there.
It would be bad for you because with one strike, if they hit you successfully one time, that would begin the process of you turning into a Slad.
Is it? I thought
that
Slads lay
reversible,
eggs in you.
The egg,
The
yes.
eggs grow out of you, or is the Slad law in this world different? That they just turn you into Slads? 'Cause how the Slad thing in normal D&D works?
Yeah.
That they lay eggs in you when you swipe them, and then they grow out of your stomach, and it's very painful.
Yeah, it's like the the xenomorph whole chest explode thing.
Yeah.
But with one touch, they can they can implant an egg, and you would need high level magic, which you have access to, or something else to remove it, because once you become a Slad, that's permanent.
So, like, how high level magic? Like a wish spell or greater restoration?
No, I think it's
let me double
cure
check.
disease. I think it's remove curse. Or remove
Oh.
disease or whatever spell it is. Off the top of my head. Worst comes to worst, it's great Arresto.
Let's see. Can I find it? So I know it's somewhere.
It's probably on the Slard monster sheet. Manual sheet.
Oh yeah.
It usually tells you what things can stop the effect.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Anything that would cure disease, and if it happens to actually go through, you would need a wish spell reverted.
But
So
anything
if you
that
get turned into a
cures
Slad,
disease, you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, and I was
relatively low bar.
And what was I going to? I was going to tell you one more thing. What was it? Oh, the names of the leaders of the Slad are Sisindam, which is Lord of Insanity.
Oh, great. That bodes well.
And the other one is the girl, Lord of Entropy.
So I have a question. Does Sister Dam, does he speak like a snake does and has to go?
I haven't decided
Is it
yet. If you meet him, I'll decide then.
Ugh. Damn.
And The first one's Nam. He is believed to be the oldest of all Slads.
He's an old toad. The Lord Croak of toads. I presume he's got magical powers to be called the Lord of Insanity.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Who was the Lord of Entropy again?
Yurgle?
Yugol.
Yurgle.
Yurgle.
Okay.
It's in what's it called?
And Yurgle is the one who's more so like the ruler of the place, considering the former doesn't seem to care about the other Slad to any degree. So he was the closest they would have to like a king. Because they do follow structures, but they also don't like things like war or other things like that, because it sort of erases the sort of chaotic sense of individuality the Slad are representative of by becoming just a horde of things, of creatures in a mob.
Get
But yeah.
slaughtered.
War. What is it good for?
Good for-
Crushing individuality.
Uh,
Huh.
yeah.
That's not where I thought it was gonna go.
But yeah, that's... Yeah, but there are some... That'd be like the gist of it.
Do we know anyone that has any flying things that we could flying transport that we could use?
Us. We have
Yeah,
a...
you
on
own
different
one.
platforms?
You guys own one, yes. It was gifted to you by Armville along with your house.
I mean, but can we take it to a different plane with us?
That's the complicated part.
Wait, what
Yeah,
did
that
Aaron
was
Bell
more-
give us?
You guys asked for... Sparks asked for a flying ship. I believe it was Sparks.
It was me. That sounds
Oh.
like me.
I forgot about that.
That sounds like me.
And we're not a massive vessel. It could definitely crew all of you and whatever it took to run it comfortably.
Eat. If only had a crew to help us do that.
I
A very...
So that slad disease, like a week? Does it take a week to turn you into a slad? 2 days? Hours?
I will tell you that from what Sparks would have been able to find, it can vary from...
slad to slad.
Yeah, not necessarily just in like infections, but like person to person as well. For some people, it took as long as like a month. For others, it was within days.
Okay, but not hours.
No, not from what he'd be able to find. Oh, the last part, actually, this is important. There are means that, in some slides, or they have been used actually on the material plane, as like minions through use of control gems. There is magic that is capable of sort of bringing a slad under one's command. But if it ever fails,
I mean,
ooh.
we've dealt with a slad before. There was a death slad that was in a cave one time that cast Cloud Kill.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember it.
I sure did.
Yeah, that happened.
I don't remember how it came to be. I feel like it was something to do some funky magic shenanigans. But I remember it.
Oh,
Dungeon Master.
Hello.
Guess what I found in my notes?
What's that?
The notes for the planes for the cubic gate. And on it has Elemental Plane of Water, Shadowfell, Mechanist, Limbo, Nine Hells, and Elysium. Problem is, one of those isn't on it, because that's 7. Because one of them has to be the Material Plane. So, would you tell us which one is... Because I took notes as you were saying it way long ago.
It would
I was
be...
just looking at a magic item that he's not seen in years.
If I'm remembering the
We were
context of the
saving
time
him.
that I gave that to you, in my eyes, I think the one that would make the least sense for it to be on was Elysium. So you can mark that one off.
Sounds good. So this is a super helpful item for us right now.
I know
We
are
found this at
heading.
the Kanji treasure hoard at the bottom of the ocean.
Yes.
I know we are heading to talk to the people in the guild about their personal experiences, but just before I forget, I also want to talk to our smart squad that are currently modifying the submarine about the possibility of getting an airship into limbo.
So as they're sort of, they would have probably just been like taking a break or like taking like a lunch or something, as they're just in like the sort of like a kitchenette area. And as you say this to him, he looks at you with a deadpan expression. Do you want me to take an airship and put it in another plane of existence?
Well, we kind of.
He's just like looking at you like.
I mean, we're going to limbo, and the books were very, you know, specific that we could, the airships would be useful.
And
So, or an air transport, and I do not know off the top of my head how to get a airship onto a different plane of existence. So I was wondering if you smart people would have any idea about how to transport an object of this size. And I point to the airship that is obviously somewhere on the property.
I like
that we
the
never
the
noticed.
submersible. I mean, in fact, it had gotten put there while you guys were gone because it wasn't there yesterday when you came back. Well, no, you came back this morning. Yeah, so it would have been that in those few hours you were with Baron, it would have appeared. And as Dazan has a sort of face in his hand for a second as he's thinking, Jay speaks up. It's like, I mean, we got the Manta back here. I don't know if it'd work with something. I don't know how big your ship is, but you ever heard of like those ships in a bottle? Like like it's like a glass bottle, and there'll be like a little ship in it that you can make by putting in pieces.
That's a toy.
I have a thing that's kind of like that. I have two of them, but the problem is they're kind of a one-time use thing. You can put something in it, but once you break it, you can't unbreak the bottle.
Okay, counterpoint though. Instead of putting something in a bottle and allowing us to transport it that way, couldn't you, like, make some sort of thing that would just allow us to transport the ship? I mean, we have this wonderful box which will allow us the cubic gate. So couldn't you, like, put some funky dunky simples on the ship, and then we basically, we flip the cube and press the button, and then we're on the other plane. That would be really useful.
Yeah, that'd be very nice, but also not how magic works. It generally doesn't build itself around convenience. If we were in order to just be able to take the ship and put it in another place, that would be at least magic of 9th level, because we're going to another plane, not just here. I don't know why I said
9th level?
Yes.
No. Changing plane shift 7th level magic.
That is to get people in a small area to another plane to an unspecified location.
Yes.
Okay, you heard it as well.
Ship with us to this unspecified location.
The problem is you need something that the ship could
like
pass
it is
through.
Not going to be a fruitful conversation.
Well, I'm just I want to take the ship. We never take the ship.
If you know any very high level mages, haven't progressed enough to be able to. That wasn't something I really started studying towards.
I cast a wish level once.
In fact, Dazan, you're the one. You're the high level mage we know.
I'm the mage. I'm the intelligent mage you know from a time long ago who was working on regaining magical powers because I was incapable of doing it while trapped in an underground tower for God knows how many years.
Yes, but you're out of the
Yeah, so
tower
you're the
now.
mage we know.
Ah,
Look, Dazan, I've said this before, but to us, you're the real Dazan. You're the real deal. And you know, whatever level of magic you can cast is good enough. We
I mean,
value you.
make me a persuasion check with advantage. As he's sort of sitting there, facing his hands, sort of contemplating the situation.
What am I persuading him of?
Just it's not a specific thing. It's just I could just say a charisma check, but I figure this might be higher for you. I don't know.
Okay, sorry. Advantage, excuse me. One more time. Let's go.
Ugh,
Let Yeah, that's 16.
Busting without the persuasion.
As he is sort of okay, I appreciate your faith in me. I will try to figure something out. It's going to be, oh god, that's going to be expensive. Just the materials.
How much?
Well, first of all, to be clear, it would be 9th level magic for interplanar travel that would allow more than just a moment, a flash, to be in and out because you would have to take the ship through. However, the materials would be a couple thousand gold pieces. And I can see if I can talk to somebody at the Seven Towers who may be capable of casting such. I've gotten closer with some of the headmasters there, or some of the deans. So it maybe give me. Jay, I'm gonna go out for a bit, see if I can contact some people. I'll let you know by tomorrow morning if I have something fruitful.
I will dig out. I will turn to him and say, just in case you are successful, I will dig out 500 platinum and give it to him.
That should certainly cover it. I hope. I'll be back. As you see him beginning to cast a sending spell as he's making his way off. And Jay, who's just kind of sitting there now by himself, is like, I guess I'll get back to work. The bottle was cool. I thought you'd like the bottle. Anyways, it's cool. I guess you couldn't bring it back.
But we can. We don't want to leave the airship in limbo. I mean, this is the first time that we're using the airships. We want to, we want to bring back the ship.
Yeah, no, it's fair. I just thought he'd like it.
I mean, you wouldn't want to leave your ship at the bottom of the ocean, would you?
Want to? No.
Given the option, if you could bring it back.
Well, yeah, that's like saying, given the option, would you rather leave home without your shoes or leave home with your shoes? Yeah, I'm gonna leave with my shoes.
Sparks looks down. I don't wear shoes.
Okay, never mind then. I feel like that analogy does not press on you as much as I thought it would.
So, just for the record, when we need to get this sub out of here, get the submersible out of here, we are capable of loading it onto the airship.
I don't think the airship's bigger than the submersible. I think it's the other way around. I think the submersible's bigger than the airship.
I've never seen this fucking airship, dude.
I'd say they're comparable in size. I wouldn't say.
You said the airship.
How did you get here in the first place?
Huh?
I want to know how they got the submersible.
That's a good
where
question.
It is right now.
And he has like you see like a smug smile. I have my means.
Did you shrink it down?
Did you use the bottle?
No.
Maybe.
He used the bottle, didn't
I haven't used it yet. I wanted to see how it works. It might be useful for the future, in case I ever need to take it with me somewhere.
Yeah. Anyway,
keep working on that. We need
we
to save Tara.
we have means of transport into Limbo, at least for us pedestrians. So, and sorry, but just to at the risk of being redundant, Elijah, you said that Limbo is not traversable on foot. You need to like fly or float.
Yeah, traversing on foot is extremely unreliable because you literally don't know if the next step is going to be there or not when you take it.
So it's like, is it a landmass or is it just like the astral plane sea where it's like a void?
It's mostly a void with chunks of rock and... Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry. I did forget one thing that was important during Sparks's thing.
So many things.
There is like kind of like a center to it ish. That's
It's full of lava.
What's it
Center
called?
is bad. You shouldn't go there. If you go there, you will turn into a monster. Kalis is just gonna like start talking like, you know, this is why I don't like all these sort of magical realms. They're not like real, and they always want to kill you. Like
I mean,
our little green plane is really precious.
I feel like the material plane wants to kill me. In fact, the material plane has tried to kill me more often than
That's
any
just
of the
because
other
you live
planes,
here.
Yeah, it's called the spawning stone, which is like kind of like a gravitational center of the place, like gravitational, like center of energy that exists there. But that's really it. There are some things that like rotate around it, but not super predictably.
So does everything fall towards that?
I wouldn't say it falls towards it, because even though some things will like vaguely revolve around it, it's not like they're in like consistent ellipses. And also things leave it as well. It creates things that get added into limbo.
Hmm. I see.
So yeah, that's vaguely relevant. Ugh.
I guess, in that case, that we shall go. Me and Jugan will go to the guild hall and talk to people about their experiences in limbo.
So more so, you'd probably be looking for like reports of like missions and things that have been done in there.
Mm-hmm.
Which sort of, if prompted, Helena could help you with. As she, what's it called? Points you in the direction of those. You find a few reports that catch your eye. Bump, bump, bump.
I will also ask Jugan about possibly using a spell called Find the Path that might be useful to us in a
Yeah, I know
chaotic
that's a
realm.
spell.
The chaotic realm which changes.
I could prepare that.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be super useful to us in an airship, but I mean, if we struggle, we can. I know. I feel. Is it one of those spells that is very expensive to cast?
Fourth level spell, I think.
It's a 7th or 6th level spell, I think.
Oh, is it? Damn.
Find the path here. I think it's 6th level.
It's 11. Throw it up there, so okay.
All right. One thing, of the other two things you'd be able to find, is one about sort of mission reports about various, like, mostly interactions that are discussed will be ones that dealt specifically with the Slad, and there is one that talked about they had like an experience with the Githyanki, as they were essentially like not hired, but they were there for something else, and they decided to help them. They were cooperative with each other. The
Does
first,
it, give a name.
uh,
Githyanki.
give the name of the Githyanki or the people on of the Githyanki.
Well, I mean, just like a contact that might be, admissible to the Bronze Flames needs.
The name of the Githyanki that would have been like the person like they were assisting,
Yeah.
is Karkron. I put that in the chat so you can have it.
Okay.
And basically the need they were having is one of the sort of Githyanki outposts was being was taken over by blue slads specifically. And due to sort of the state of the or the level of chaos, they were not able to get any sort of reinforcements from the capital city of the Gither's Eye. And they basically assisted in helping sort of clear out that outpost of the Slad. And this would have been from about not incredibly long time, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But the mission that group was originally there for was specifically a mission to hunt down a figure. One of the Slad lords who went by the name of
Slad Lord, the Indomitable.
where is it?
Slord.
By a guy named Wardle.
Even funnier than what I came up with.
Less powerful than the other Slad lords. But he was one who had made enemies on the material plane. Through sort of coming here and in acts of trickery, stole an artifact called... What was the artifact he stole? I have to sneeze. I'm not gonna.
Don't do it.
I'm not gonna fucking sneeze.
Don't fucking do it.
Oh, okay. We're good. Yeah, he had come, what's it called, to the material realm, and he had stolen an item, which from the description of which it would have been called a deck of many, not a deck of many things, to be clear. And I'm not putting that here.
Oh, good.
It is not
You
that.
scared me. You
but
scared me because I know I would have to draw from it, and I like this character.
But yes. It would have been... well, in the name, it would have just been called a deck of many things, but it is not the deck of many things you're thinking of in traditional D&D.
Okay.
Which is a powerful object that could be very unpredictable in its capabilities, and also the potential to be very dangerous in the hands of a creature which is the literal embodiment of chaos.
Understandable. So when they say many things, are there a description of some of the things?
You know, roll me a d20 just for my own curiosity's sake.
Okie dokie. Slash. 12.
Okay, cool. Roll a d100.
Oh. Excited.
So they did find and retrieve this object. And when they had done so, the first thing they noticed is that the deck was incomplete, as if it had been used by it. And in part of the report would be that one of the party members, and it says, and one foolish one of us, who will go unnamed for the sake of dignity, decided to use said item. And it caused a very interesting magical effect, in which a dragon egg had appeared at his feet.
A dragon what?
Dragon egg.
Oh.
And promptly hatched soon after.
What color?
What color? We'll say brass.
Okay. And did it regard the adventurers as surrogate parents, or was it?
Oh no, it attached to that person immediately. It was very friendly, but it was written as a very like you could see the irritation in the handwriting of this report, because it could have gone much more poorly.
Yes, of course. I see. I think it's exactly. It could have gone much worse. It's fine. It's fine. I am going to go and see if one of the. I presume the report has members of the group.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and see if one of the members of the group has something that they may have taken as a, I guess, trophy, or like a remembrance of their time in Limbo, so we can use it for spells such as Find the Path. Because we need an object from that thing to get to the place that we're going. So, if they can get something Githrazai related, then we can at least find a path to the Githrazai.
Make me an investigation check. As you're sort of going through these reports and you're trying to find any things like of that matter. Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Ockily dockily. 20.
A 20? So, here's the thing. One, yes, there is. After the task done for them, the Gither's Eye that they had assisted gifted upon them the silver sword in which they owned. And it's not like actual silver, but it is referred to as a silver sword. Yeah, and that would have been gifted to a fella named... I can't...
Yeah, you can't even...
Can we go up with the name on the spot, Elijah?
No, I wanted to find a better last name. But also yes. Vicar Audrey. That was the one of them which the sword had been gifted to.
Okay, and what is Vicar Audrey?
He's still a member of the Bronze Flame.
No, I mean, like, what race is he? And what does he do?
He's a human. From what you'll be able to find, he's a martial fighter. He's still active within the guild, has been for some time now. Probably the better course of like maybe 10 years or so.
I would like to go and talk to this person if he is still in Revedia.
Okay. So you're gonna go track him down.
Yep.
I'm not gonna make it roll for this all fucking bullshit. As
Is he still in Revedia, or is he,
yeah, asking Helena, she would say, oh yes, he has a home in Central. If you need to speak with him, I can get you in contact, or have you off to his address.
Giving me his address is fine. I'm sure I can go and find him. Other
Yeah.
than, put you out of
And
important business you're doing.
yeah, and she would do so, and his home would be not too far from where like the inner wall is to like the upper and like noble districts. It's a little bit into the middle districts, the mid district, or central. That's the word. We'd be able to make your guys' way to his home. And it's a fairly nice place. It's nothing like it's sort of nestled in between a few shops. So I'm assuming you're just knocking on the door.
Yeah.
As you do so, a few moments pass by of silence, and eventually you see this guy, sort of like tanned complexion, a very like sort of shortcut, like trim beard, and sort of this very shining bald head. As he sort of looks out at the two of you, because you guys, I wouldn't say you're not like a crazy sight in Revedia, but like I think the contrast between the two of you is what would catch you more off guard than anything else. To see you appear together, or you and Juggen.
I'm really big and he's really small.
And one's hairy and one's angelic and wearing full plate armor. He's got some little robes on, and yeah, you guys are kind of the opposite visually. And as he's sort of there, door half open. Hello, can I help you with something?
Hey, are you?
I'm
are you
Jung-un.
Vicar?
Hello, yes, I am Vika. Hello, pleasure to meet you, Juggen. Seems there's no need to introduce myself.
We're with the Bronze Flame as well.
Ah, hell. What's up? What do you need?
Well, one of our compatriots has been kidnapped by a creature from the Shadowfell, and we need a weapon called the Fate Weaver, which is in limbo, and that is the realm of the Githyanki. The reason that we've come to you is because you, the Githyanki, and well, we were hoping to use a spell to find the Githyanki, and we need something that the Githyanki have used, and I was looking in the reports, and it says that you have a silver sword, so I was wondering if you would mind helping us save our friend.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I mostly just keep it up on the mantle. It's not exactly something I can really even use. It's for a good cause. Just make sure to bring it back, please. It's sentimental.
Of course.
And you don't have to explain more. I get it.
I really appreciate this. Thank you.
Yeah. And just give me one moment. And as he sort of steps back in the house for a second, and a moment goes by, and he comes out, and it does seem to be like a long sword in a sheath, but just like the sort of metal of the hilt alone, because it seems like this entire thing was sort of cast of this material, other outside of what's it called? Outside of like the wrappings on the handle, and it just shines like brilliantly in the sunlight that is still remaining.
That's bright.
Yeah. Very valuable, incredibly rare, and also, looking down towards you, Sparks. If you're in front of them, make sure to call them to Gether's Eye. They do not like that confusion at all.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming that's who you meant. If you're going to Limbo.
Yeah, the Githers Eye.
Yeah.
Did I say Yankee?
Yeah.
I apologize.
No.
I literally only just read about them like an hour ago, so still.
Oh, you did research. That's
Yeah.
smart. We probably should have done that.
Is there anything that you could tell us so that isn't in? I was going to say that isn't in the books, but you haven't really read the books. So, is there anything that you can tell us?
As he's looking at you, he's like, "Oh, words of wisdom." And there's like a look on his face, like, "Okay, fuck, what am I gonna tell this? What am I gonna tell this kid?" If I were to give you any advice, you read a lot of things in the books and you make a lot of assumptions. When it comes down to it, the Slad are a thing or a people that can be reasoned with. Not all of them are inherently evil or bad, but they are certainly opportunists. So, don't discount the ability to find an ally in a place you wouldn't expect. But also, don't trust them too much.
Okay.
That seems like good advice. Yeah, I like that.
Interesting and to the point. Good. Well, thank you.
Yeah, good luck. Bring it back, please. That means you're not allowed to die.
We plan not to,
We all do.
Yeah, we all do. I got us though. No, I do have like 4 skeletons with me at this point.
Oh, I forgot about your entourage.
Yeah.
I think most people just see it and then go, "No, I didn't see that," and then continue.
Like, those skinny men are very well dressed.
I like to imagine just he hands us the sword, Sparks hands it to Jogan hands it to one of her skeletons, and the skeleton, and as you guys depart, the skeletons start booking it with just doing the run animation with the sword like fully in their hand, just, like running with the sword. It's not like they can put it on their back or sheath it or anything.
I mean, it has a sheath with it.
Yes, we could stick it between their ribs if they really wanted to.
I just imagine like it's really long, so assuming like 2 of them are carrying it, and they're running like.
I was just gonna whack it in the bag of holding, but
Yeah, that's probably was a smart idea.
So, back at home, how's the hedge maze doing? From the 9 saplings of the trees of the moving wild that I planted here.
So as I said, the saplings have grown over the length of the house. In
Nice.
a very short amount of time. This is a very magically dense area, which is something they can feed off of very efficiently. There's almost no point in there being windows on the first floor. But as for the actual hedge parts, it is unkempt and overgrown, unnavigatable. It is just growing so quickly that you are having to wade and push through any places to walk. Which, for you, is not that much of a problem. Pushing your way through incredibly dense underbrush. But it does take up a lot of space.
Do I get the feeling that there will be any point trimming it, or will it just grow back?
Make me a nature check. Nature survival. I'll give that to you.
To pay like a special gardener. Magic gardeners.
True.
16.
16. I mean, no. There's no point.
No.
Like, you would have to... Yeah, no. You could fix it for maybe... You would have to basically redo it, like, every other day. To actually have it looking, like, kempt.
Okay, I'll tell the like gardener of this district of houses, like, you get to work on that.
Hey, that's in your backyard. That's your problem. Until it becomes a
He
problem.
doesn't. He only does the front hedges.
Yeah, they do like the
mean-
outside to get the property value up.
How much
see.
does a gardener cost?
How much is a
Normally,
magic?
But more to the point, I would like to price some magic items and go shopping.
of course.
What's the prices for the belts of giant strength?
Expensive.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted to buy, but I don't have enough gold for it.
What belt?
Oh,
Belts of strong. You get a belt of what's it called as well? Dwarven kind. I want to see Kalos with a beard.
Joe has
yeah.
one.
Deers, they have the goatee.
Yeah, no, but I want a full dwarven beard attached to that that deery
I don't
face.
know about that one.
Wow, I did not know about that item. What the fuck? Oh, it's the belt of the monkey.
Oh, the monkey.
It's from a third-party book called Xanathar's Lost Notes to Everything Else. It's actually a fairly good book. It has very good items in it. Because I've expanded the item list that I've been using. But basically, it allows, if you have a tail, it becomes like a prehensile tail. And if you don't have one, you grow one out of your ass like a Saiyan for an hour. Then it falls off.
Distressing.
Let's see. The prices for... So, if you were looking at these belts, the best one they would have right now, the most valuable one, would be a belt of Cloud Giant Strength, which would be, it's a legendary item.
Expensive, one imagines.
Yeah, it'd be like 70,000 gold pieces.
Cool. Yeah, not gonna go for that one.
They have a belt of Fire Giant Strength, which would be 40.
Whew.
40,000.
And a belt of Frost Giant Strength, which would be 30.
That's not a very
That's-
good deal. You just say
That's
with the
K,
40.
right?
Yeah.
You need money kilos?
Yeah, it's 1,000.
Yes, these are very rare and legendary items.
What were
No,
you
no,
saying?
no. I was
Ruben?
making sure it was 30,000 and not 30.
You need some money kilos? I can help you buy it. I think it's better for you to have one than me just to have one.
Well, I mean, I have about. The thing is, I'm not really close to that amount of money right now. I have about like a quarter of what that would cost.
Of 10,000.
Yeah, I don't.
Wait, give me one second. Let me double check something. I might need to correct myself. I think I misread it.
Maybe we need to go on lucrative venture. Help out an old man, something like that.
Yeah,
Help out an
we
old
need
man.
to
A noble man.
noble man, not
Also,
old man.
same thing. Still an old man. Yeah.
True, most old
Most
people
likely,
do
yeah.
have money. We need to,
I'm sorry. The belt of frost giant strength would be 15, and the belt of fire giant strength, which is the next tier up above that, would be 22 and a half. Okay.
that's a significant price drop. What's that cut off?
Because I was looking at the list of them and I thought they were in order of strength. They were not. They were in alphabetical order.
No, they're like
Yeah.
frost and stone giant strength are the same thing, which is odd.
Yes.
I don't know why they made it that way, but they did.
One's
So
frosty and
25K,
one's
huh?
stony. 20.
22 and
22.
a half.
22.5K. Okay, that's what I heard. Huh.
But then the next one up after that would be 30, which would be fire. Wait, I'm confusing myself.
Yeah,
No,
you
no, no,
said
yeah,
fire
yeah.
was 22.
Yeah, fire is 22. The next up would be stone, not stone. Fuck.
Fire is the top one.
No, storm is the top one.
You sure?
Storm gives you 29 strength.
So storm
Yeah, fire is very rare, and storm and cloud are legendary items, but they don't sell storm giant belts for obvious reasons. Hmm. Well, you know, it. I don't want you to give me all of your money, Chugun, but it would be helpful were you to do so.
Yeah, no, I got you. I would like you to get the good stuff. I
And
actually
I
have
happen to have
11,000 gold.
this. I happen to have this belt of hill giant strength that obviously I'm replacing. So if you wanted something that made you about as strong as I am right now, then we could trade. Although I think the trade would be greatly in my favor, and you're overpaying for such a thing.
So let me think about it, because I do still have my. I'm essentially switching out this one from my dwarf belt. But I do like having the extra constitution, but I think the strength might be more helpful at this point.
Really? Why?
Because all right, like I 100% meta talking.
Oh,
Stuff like
I don't think your character sheet has the bonus constitution. Oh no, it does. It does. Okay, I just want to make sure.
To a
Ignore me.
maximum of 20.
because I just feel like it would. I feel like
I mean, what?
being-
What
Huh?
are you using the strength for? Isn't a lot of your damage magical?
He does make
What does
melee
one use
attacks
strength
fairly often.
for,
I do a lot of melee attacks.
other than hitting?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean the fucking damage comes from the what's it called, doesn't it?
I mean, he has his divine strike,
Divine Strike,
but
sorry.
also hitting in the first place. Oh, I didn't mean to do that because Kanji can be wielded as a strength weapon. Because he uses staff.
Shovel, actually. Thank you very much.
Ugh, fuck off.
True.
You need Shillelagh. You could use your wisdom to hit instead.
It's got a... Yeah. Oh, does that staff not help you hit at all? Oh no, it's +2. Okay, that's good. So... Yes. You'd be more at like...
With my with my dwarf belt for now until I get something else. But yeah, I'll give you my gold. You can probably sell your belt. I'll pay for it too.
Oh, you don't wish for the strength belt?
Actually, I take that back. Yeah, I'll take it. It's just It's definitely
It's
better.
21.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's versus getting like that's essentially plus.
That's
8.
minus 15 health as well, because you're losing plus 2 con.
Hmm.
So I go from 135 to 120.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, you could just keep your money and save up for a bigger belt if you want.
You can afford it yourself.
Hmm?
You can afford it yourself.
No.
I can give you the money. Like, I'm sure we'll at some point in time do one of these jobs that you're required to do and make plenty of money doing it.
Okay. Well, thank you, Chicken.
Should rob a bank.
You can do that too.
Are there banks?
There has to be
Yeah,
banks
of
for the
course.
amount of money.
Not even money, just
Well-
valuable objects to be kept in general. But that too,
Not
yeah.
everyone's wealth was stored in the weave. It's Weave 3.0.
Yeah, on the fucking weave chain.
That's the worst joke I've ever made. And it's funny to me. It's funny to me because of how bad it is. It's not funny because it's funny. It's funny because... okay. But yeah, I would, Oh, what's the math? Yeah, I would borrow 9,000 of Jugun's gold. Not the full 10k, but I think I need 9,000, and then buy the belt of Fire Giant Strength from, I assume, Bloodbath and Beyond.
No, it would be that name of the other magic shop, but I can't remember because it's
Fun
been so
fact:
long.
Bloodbath and Beyond, invented business, outlasted the real Bath and Beyond.
Yes, they're in this economy, especially right now. They're doing incredibly well.
Can I
Oh,
get that spell scroll?
uh,
I feel like we would have gotten a discount if we went there. I go this raw.
for this expensive? No. I'm gonna lose thousands of gold to you on a discount. Let's see. So you wanted Fire Giant, right?
Yes.
And as you're there, the guy's like, "Are you sure you don't want the Stone Giant? It's the same, but I'd say it's a little more stylish. I think it fits your frame well. I think the sort of grays would go well with like the darker grays would go well with like the whole aesthetic you have going on."
I'm sort of a magical connoisseur, and I can tell it's not as strong.
He looks visibly offended. Excuse me. I would say they are incredibly equal in effectiveness. I was just attempting to be a courteous salesman. Fine, take your Fire Giant Strike and be seen in public with it.
What's happening? What is happening right now?
I'm importing
Kayla's
the item.
Kayla's just like, well, gee shucks. But, I don't think Stone Giant is the same.
It's not. I was thinking of the other one. I realized it after I said it and loaded up the item.
Okay, they're all very rare, but rarity on these is weird. Yeah. Cool.
Where's your character sheet? Subtract Joe money for I have a gift granted upon to you.
Oh yeah. 13.
How much is a +3 Bloodwell vial?
Unavailable.
I see. How do I create a +3 blood level?
Reach level 17 and I'll consider it.
Oh, but that's not even... It's
Say
only
it.
very rare.
It's also a +3 to spell save DCs.
Yeah, details, schmetails.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you want it without that, I can give it to you. If you want to you just want it without the bonuses. If you just want a blood well vial.
No.
Oh wait, you don't care about the detail? You care about the details and the schmetails? I thought you just wanted a blood well vial.
Shut up, I love you.
Oh,
Shut up.
But yeah, could you add the Hill Giant Strength belt to Juggin?
Yeah, I can drag it over.
21. Yep. Okay.
Well. Where is it at?
now we're on rare protection. I can wear 2 belts. 2 belts. He owns a Fawn's fancy character.
Oh my god. Yeah, I was gonna say
You
any
weren't
anime
looking at it.
character.
You weren't looking at it for my sheet. On my sheet for it, are you?
Oh, did you delete it?
Too many
Yeah.
belts.
I just sorry.
Oh, you fucking bastard, Sean. That's fine. Say it was Hill Giant. Yep, there we go. And it is in Jungan's inventory.
Dope.
Man, I forgot magic items are a thing. Sometimes. I feel like you go through a mix of like floods and droughts when it comes to magic items. Like all of a sudden you'll have way more than you know what to do with, and then all of a sudden you guys won't be doing anything for a bit. Like you'll be like chilling, so there won't be like this huge fucking volume of things flying at you.
How about robes? This is a magic item that I made up. Robes of the Adept Magi, which are just robes that have mage armor cast on them at all times. It's like to save a spell slot at the start of the day.
I mean, here, that wouldn't be crazy expensive, honestly, especially because this is kind of the target audience, or the target market for that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think of a number. Where would I put that at? I'd probably say, like... I wouldn't say it'd be constantly active, but you would basically get a free cast of it once per day. And that'd be like, we'll say...
Good enough.
Like 300 gold pieces.
300 gold? Yeah, sure, go for it. Boom.
I mean, it's a first level spell, once a day casting, uncommon item, or it'd be, yeah.
Can I get it in my color?
Yes, you can get it in your color. It's like, if you want to spend a little more, they can even make it out of glamour weave.
Yeah, I mean, sure, why not?
Sure.
How much that will handle?
It'd be like 200 more.
500 gold. Fancy.
Alright. With that being taken care of, unless anyone else does something.
I think I'm good for now. I have some questions, but we can do it next time.
I mean, you feel free to ask while we're here.
So we have an airship. Does anyone know how to fly an airship?
What? No.
The person I hired to pilot my normal ship knew how to fly an airship.
No. Completely different sets of skills.
Figured. he could have been in that too, so we have to hire literally.
That's a fair question.
Can I take a crash course?
Oh, he'll be a crash course.
No, you see, we wouldn't want that. Yeah, that's what we're trying not to do.
Can I take
Although, in
a-
fairness, like you could probably fuck around a lot in limbo. There's not tons of stuff to hit, right?
There's a
If it's just
lot of
void.
stuff to hit because there's a lot of stuff flying through the void.
Hmm. Hmm. Unfortunate.
How do you roll a check secretly to everybody? What the hell?
Impressive.
So you'd be able to find a crew for an airship. Finding a crew that would be willing to take a
Go
ship
to
into
limbo?
limbo is a very different story.
Is there anyone that like looks crazy?
Make me an insight check, because I'm assuming you guys are kind of like perusing like the dock area, trying to find somebody.
Someone that would be willing. Someone that seeks adventure.
I'm gonna cast guidance too. I apologize.
Oh my god! I actually rolled a 19.
19. So, as you guys are sort of perusing the sky docks, Jigun, you hear a sound. It sounds first like people yelling, and then what's it called? You hear what's it called? I gotta find. I already know what I'm looking for. I need a particular type of image. You hear the sound of an old guy. Well, fuck you! We don't need your airship anyways. You don't care about us. We were just a rented crew to get from one place to another. I've been all across the world. I don't need to worry about where you're going off to Griffin Keep. Take a bird. As you see this old man belligerently yelling at one of at seemingly another guy in finer robes, a merchant of some sorts. He goes, "Bastard! Boys, get off the ship. We don't work for him no more." And you hear one of them go, what's it called? I'm having a stroke.
Should not do that.
He goes, "Nathan, he hasn't paid us yet." And as he's walking off, he turns around, "And you're gonna pay us the money for what we did do." And what's it called? As the guy sort of says, "I will pay you once I can deduct what damages were done to the cargo due to reckless activity. I can't even explain what happened, but I've gotten plenty of sendings from Griffin Keep telling me about damaged goods." And he goes, "Ah!" And he kind of throws his hands up and he begins to make his way off. I'll post an image of it on the thing, but I have found exactly the picture I want to use for this man. This is not the person who has to be your airship captain, but I kind of just caught a vibe right now. And you said crazy. Oh shit.
Oh shit, indeed.
Man, you ever think you found a cool image and then you look at it closer and you get disappointed because it turns out the whole time it was really mediocre AI art?
Yup. That's the Google Images experience nowadays.
It really fucking is.
Womp womp womp.
I'll post that for y'all and then I'll put it in the thing. Oh. The only difference is, you notice that he has sort of not a full wrapped eye patch, but a covering over one eye. But outside of that, that's the fella.
God, this guy looks like he's after the white whale.
And as you sort of witness that, you see a few of the other crew members, seemingly pretty like mixed, like a very like mixed like racial variety, which is already Revedia, already a city that's become more and more diverse over the past few years. But this sort of like more so than just like a regular like working class group. It seems like a few of them are trying to like calm him down or console him. That's the first thing you'd see as you're going to the docks. Oh, I dropped something. Are you gonna keep going? Are you gonna keep looking, or are you gonna? Yeah.
Gentlemen, of course.
So you approach the group.
Let's see. Before I go, I'll look for Sparks, and I point like this, like.
You sure? I mean, the reason that I am hesitant is, I mean, they from the argument that they just seem to have, was that rough conditions of the things that were being taken from one location to another. I'm slightly worried about, the ride, I guess.
Okay.
One might have this crew with. It's certainly an idea, but with the role of a 20, no less, I'm concerned about what else we might find.
You gave me the caveat of someone who might be willing to fly into limbo.
Yeah, I mean, counterpoint. Just let me learn how to fly an airship.
I mean, do you think you're going to be able to learn how to do it within a day or two?
I don't know, Elijah.
I'm not stopping you from trying to learn, but
I don't know how skills are learnt in this world.
How skill proficiencies are gained is you're either doing a specific task or training under somebody, usually for some sort of gold cost, but that can vary. And then over time, you will gain a skill proficiency.
Okay, yeah, but that over time period is generally more than 2 days.
Significantly more. It's at least usually a few weeks.
Yeah, so I'm saying, is it physically possible for me to learn in 2 days, or not?
You will not be able to gain proficiency. You may learn how one functions, but you will not be proficient in it.
Okay. Oh, sorry, my brain has fallen asleep.
I mean, we can always magically juice you.
Yeah.
Well, actually, is there like a consistent is it like always dexterity to steer a airship, or?
Yes, more or less. Unless a specific thing would deem it more appropriate for like a need for like
Unless
an intelligence
you have to, like,
thing.
gauge distance mathematically.
But yes, for actual like ship maneuvers, yes.
Can we hire a crazed goblin called Sharp Eye? I hear he has really good skills with flying aircraft.
He's really lucky.
I mean, we could kind of just enhance ability you, and I could. Whoa, what does that do? Bolstering magic, which is like the guidance thing.
+4 to the roll, but.
But then, I will just throw it out there as an important point to note: who's staying on the ship?
Yeah.
You're not going to anchor it. Where are you going to anchor it to?
Can we ask? Do we know if Jay knows how to fly an airship? Can we take Jay with us?
He probably knows. You know he's not going to limbo.
Yeah. He's kind of working on some stuff.
Are you paying him to do what he's doing currently?
You're paying him in the stuff you guys are going to find.
Okay.
How about Zahn? He was around when airships were.
He was around when cities were flying.
Exactly.
He didn't need to fly an airship. They teleported where they needed to go.
Yeah, that's like when you have that much magic, like teleport. It's just like bip up.
Like, oh, you're gonna.
Didn't they literally have like teleport platforms?
Why did I need flying cities then if there were teleports? What was the point?
They were teleporting within the city because you don't want to walk all the way to the farmer's market.
Fucking.
Yeah, they didn't even need elevators back then. They could just have like platforms. It's like way more space efficient.
Yeah, skip the loading screen.
Dude, that'd be terrifying if like you experientially like went into a teleporter in real life and then you entered a loading screen. Like you were just what?
That'd be
Where
bad.
am I right now?
I just need to know: Are you letting this lie? Or are you going out? Or
We're gonna go and talk to the crazy people that might want to come to me.
so as I'd say on an insight check of 20, as you're sort of making your way, it's kind of gauging them, and I still on this man who you seem to be very excited about, Jagan. You notice that they, as a group, are significantly more armed than most of the people like you see working on these airships, and you can kind of tell by the way, like kind of like sizing them up. It seems like quite a few of them either have some sort of martial training or experience. Like, just sort of looking at a few of them up and down, they don't seem unfamiliar to a fight. And as you're sort of walking up, one of the people, assumably maybe a first mate of some sort, is trying to calm him down. And sort of completely losing his attention, you watch as the old guy that was called, I believe it was Nathan, Nathan earlier, goes, "That's a big woman." He just sort of like turns, he's just like looking at you, walk up.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice to meet you. When I stick out my hand to give him a handshake.
And he goes, "Oh, hello. Nathan,
Well,
Nathan, fuck, I already forgot his name. Nathan Windmarrow."
I will clear my throat.
Oh, that's a big cat.
I don't know if that's accurate.
Certainly not like standing next to Jogun.
I mean, relative
No
to
way.
a cat.
Relative to a cat,